So I want to talk about two paradigms as they relate to health. The first being Newtonian physics and the second being quantum physics. So in Newtonian physics, the universe was seen as a gigantic clock, which could be understood mechanistically. So you could take it apart, like you could take a clock apart and there's all these different parts and then you put it back together and that's how it worked. Well, this was then translated into the medical field, and we thought that, you could understand the part of the heart, as like a part of a clock, and the part of the liver as another part. And that's how we got all of this specialization in medical systems, where you go see a cardiologist when you're having heart problems, and you go see a gastroenterologist when you're having digestive issues. And of course, we all know there doesn't tend to be a whole lot of talking between these different specialists. So, but the thing is we're not like clocks or machines that can be repaired by cutting out or replacing a broken part. Yes, we do have surgeries. Yes, we have things even like, heart transplants, liver transplants, all of those things. And so, yes, there can be some element of replacing broken parts, but we're much more complicated than that, is kind of the point I want to make here. We're not just, order a new secondhand for your clock kind of a thing. There's layers and complexities that even if you can replace a part, it's more complicated than this model leads us to think about ourselves if we subscribe to this paradigm. So in the quantum perspective, instead, everything in the universe is connected to everything else. So this makes a lot more sense when we talk about our health. Everything from our organs, to our body parts, to our minds, to our emotions, everything is interconnected. Every single cell in your body is connected to every other single cell in your body. And they're all constantly in communication and in dialogue. So when we talk a little bit more about this quantum perspective, there's also something called the observer effect. And what that means is that matter and light exhibit the behaviors of both wave and particle, depending on the circumstances of an experiment. So when they've been trying to study, well, is matter a wave or is it a particle? Well, if scientists went into the experiment and they were looking for waves, then they would actually see matter appear as waves. If they looked into the experiment looking for particles, they saw particles. So whatever they were looking for influenced what they saw. So you may be saying now, well, okay, you're getting all sciencey. How does this apply to my health? I signed up not for a science lecture, but for something related to my health and well-being. So let's get to that. So when you go into a doctor and the doctor gives you a particular diagnosis, says you have a particular illness, and then they say, this is chronic, this will never go away, what happens is we actually collapse the waves of potential and we make that our reality. We look at that experiment as, oh, I'm looking for waves, then I see waves. I'm looking for chronic illness, I'm looking for never will go away, that's what I get.